Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another daily Videodevo. Rene here. Today, I want to talk to you about this phrase. We are not called to a system. We're called to a Savior. We are not called to an it. We are called to a person. Now, I'll get more into that phrase in just a second, but last weekend I talked about Jesus Christ's attacks on the Pharisees. They were the ultimate in religious perfectionists and dedication, but listen to the things Jesus called them: hypocrites, blind guides, whitewashed tombs, snakes, brood of vipers. Wow, tell me what you really think, Jesus, right? And then to the crowds, the people who were being worn down by the excessive performance-oriented demands of the Pharisees, Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and heavily burdened, and I will give you rest." Notice he doesn't call people from the Pharisees' system to his system. He calls people from the Pharisee system to him. Again, we're not called to a system. We're called to a Savior. We are called to a person. Here's why I think this is so important. One thing that I see in a lot of Christians who want to grow is kind of a continual search for something more, something extra. And they end up getting focused on the latest Christian thing, whatever it is, instead of on Jesus. And then they get exhausted and burned out, and they end up saying things like, "Christianity, yeah, I tried it, and it didn't work for me." But that sentence shows the problem. They tried it. But Christianity is not an it. Christianity is about a person, Jesus Christ. Here's another application of that. I used to tell my kids whenever they'd hear attacks on the Christian church or attacks on a certain pastor or even attacks on the Bible or attacks on Genesis, I would say, kids, here's how to keep all that in perspective. Remember, we are not Bibleians or Genesisians or Churchians. We're Christians. There may be many valid reasons to critique the church or a church or even to correct my interpretation of the Bible and so on. But I'm not rattled by attacks on those things because they are not the center of my faith. I'm not a Churchian. I'm not a Bibleian. As important as church and the Bible is to my faith, Jesus Christ is the center of my faith. I am a Christian. Christ is the hub. Everything else is a spoke at best. And those spokes only serve their purpose when they point to the hub. Is all this making sense? Do you remember the verse, kind of an obscure verse that I told you was one of my favorites? 2 Corinthians 11:3. I love this verse. It says, "But I am afraid that just as Eve was led astray by the serpent's cunning, you may somehow be led astray from your simple and pure devotion to Christ." Remember to keep it simple. Keep it focused on Jesus. You are called to a person. So go to Jesus, go to him. And he, as you focus on him, he will give you the easy and light yoke that you long for instead of the heavy, burdensome yoke of performance-oriented religion. You do that, you're going to have a great one. God bless you.